Okay, when I say I am excited about 2024, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm so excited about what God is about to do in my life, what He's about to do in your life, what He's about to do in the podcast as far as community is concerned, growth is concerned. I feel like it's really about to go down in 2024. So, if you are in a space of trying to get ready mentally and trying to figure out how you're going to intentionally go into the new year, then take this time to do this 2024 reset with me. You already know I'm going to have a worksheet down below. You can click the link and download it and work through your own reset. But I've been doing this the past couple of years, and it has really changed my perspective and my ability to take action on what I want to accomplish in the new year. So, this whole idea of resetting for the new year is a really good way to reset your intentions, reset your mindset, reset your desires, and really get focused on how you want to strategically attack 2024. So if you need that in your life, sis, go ahead and download the worksheet. But most of all, stay tuned for this video and let's get into this 2024 reset. Let's go. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I reflect on this year, how I pick out what I've learned, and then just kind of reflect on the good things that happened, the things that I struggled with, the things I did good, just kind of an overview of my life, thinking about what happened, what could have happened, what didn't happen, all of those things so that I can keep that stuff in mind when I move into my next year. So I can use that to strategically go into the next year. I can't believe that prior to doing these, I would just make a whole set of new plans and then go right into the new year, not even acknowledging what I had done really well, what I struggled with, and how I can avoid doing those things again. So let's get into it. 2023 was a really, really good year for me. I told you guys that I had an intent to take a year off of social media. I ended up taking 8 months off, and then I received a word saying that it was time for me to come back. And I knew it was from God because I did not want to come back. When I said I was living my best life off social media, girl, I was living my best life, okay? And I was like, no, I said a year, but I was obedient. God had already given me the vision for the podcast and all this stuff to bring it back. And I got busy and just got to work and was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to come on back and do this thing. And I'm so glad I was obedient because had I not come back, I wouldn't be in this place right now for the podcast. We wouldn't even be here recording yet. We'd be waiting to the beginning of the year. So I'm so glad that happened. And it has just kind of catapulted me into, just doing what I know God has been calling me to do. So some of the good things that happened in 2023, 8 months off, that was amazing. I got a chance to really focus on living and enjoying life without always uploading. I got a chance to really see how much I was missing without social media because we don't recognize how much time it takes to do these things, right? And I got a chance to see how much I was missing so that I would be aware when I came back intentionally and started doing social media again. So, 8 months off was really good. I'm probably going to take some time off in the beginning of the year. And then anytime I start feeling overwhelmed now or feel like I'm doing too much, I'll take a day off. I'll delete the apps, take a day off. 8 months off just really showed me how much of a chokehold it had me in, okay? It had me in a chokehold, all right? And now we are doing better and we're acknowledging when we're getting overwhelmed and consumed with it. So things are going a lot better. Y'all, I'm sure you guys know I'm in the Army. I've been in the Army for 16 and a half years. Back in March, I got promoted to Master Sergeant, which was so exciting and it was such a blessing. And I just remember being Private Williams coming in, and now to be Master Sergeant Kilgore is like such a big deal for me. And I'm just so thankful that God would trust me with a new level of responsibility. And so got promoted. My family came up and we had an amazing time celebrating my promotion. I'm going to be an equal opportunity advisor for my unit. So I'm really excited about that as well. And just everything that God is blessing me with in my career. So that's what I do 24/7. I'm active duty and I really enjoy being in the Army. Got 3 years left and I really want to just be able to do ministry and just things like this and community work in the schools with teens and with women full time when I retire. So that is my goal. every year on my vision board, I'm always putting down, I want to lose weight, I want to eat healthy. This year, God really had me doing some fasting. And one of the things when doing fasting, girl, you're going to lose some weight, okay? That was not the intention of it, but what it showed me was that, Whitney, if you're obedient to me, you won't have to struggle and worry about this weight thing. You trying to, struggling hard to lose 5 or 10 pounds. If you do what I'm asking you to do, if you have self-control, you won't need to worry and stress about that. That'll be something that happens. That's why not only did it just grow me spiritually, but it just showed me like a lot of the things that you're dealing with concerning weight have been because you ain't had no self-control. And even now, like, he get me together so quick, just, hey, fast for this amount of time, and just being obedient and making it a part of my life where, like, I'm going to be sharing with you guys, hey, today we're doing a fast, like once a week, one day a week, doing a fast. Those kind of things really have eliminated the need to be worried and concerned about my weight and my physical things. I know it's different for everybody, but that's just something that God revealed to me. So on my vision board this year, I didn't have to eat healthier or lose weight or all those things. Like, I'm really feeling like I want to take better care of my body. So going into the new year, that will be an area of focus for me to try and get in better shape physically. But at the same time, because I'm doing the work spiritually, it's kind of taking care of my body in the process. So that was kind of a big thing for me, just recognizing that God wants us to have self-control for more than just spiritual reasons, but because he needs this body of ours to do his work here in the earth. So we got to take care of it. He just be having so many things wrapped up in one. It'd be like, Lord, how did you think of all this? Because he don't think like us. He's just awesome. Okay. I have a little bit more left on my book. The goal is to have the book out by April. April is a year from that time. And so that's when I want to release the book. So I'm basically done with the book now, and it is with somebody who's editing it. And I'm excited about that because it's something I've always said I wanted to do, but I have never really been intentional about how I'm going to do it. I made the commitment to write 5,000 words a month, and my goal was to write a 40,000 word book. And at this point, I think I'm at like 43,000, but I still have like a half a chapter to write, closing the book out with like the final touches and prayer that I want to put in there to just close it out. So I'm proud of that, okay? Like, I'm proud of that, and I'm excited about what that book is going to do. Once again, it's called God, I'm Serious This Time. Y'all know we've all said it, and so you can only imagine what's in there, okay? It is really going to be a blessing to whoever reads it. So this year, I also got a chance to speak at a women's conference. Actually, the woman that really spoke into my life, Pastor Sabrina Nero, spoke into my life when I first really started getting serious about God. The things that I'm doing now with the podcast and all of these things, God allowed her to see those things in me way back then when I had no idea of what that would look like, and to just know that I'm doing those things now, and I don't know what God is planning to do, but it just was really nice to go back to my my foundational church and to speak at the women's conference. It was almost like a podcast setting, and me and her just had a conversation about some of everything. And that was so, oh my goodness, it was so inspiring and so timely for me. I just really enjoyed being able to do that. Like, they sowed so much into me spiritually, and so to go back and to be able to let them see that, like, man, you guys taking that time, investing that love and those seeds into me and into my life. And I'm thankful to them for like being a part of this whole journey. So it was a whole moment, y'all. I relaunched the podcast, right? I had said, okay, I'm done with the podcast. I don't know when I'm going to start it back up. And then God was like, podcast. And so it has just relaunched, and it is really, really intentionally about growing spiritually. And it's so crazy that the podcast is really focused on that now. The book that he told me to write, God, I'm Serious This Time, is all about us getting more serious with God. And then the things that he wants me to do in building community is for women who are just ready to, really start taking their relationship with God seriously. So it all flows together. So I'm excited about that. I can also say that this year I have grown as a wife and a mother. I personally think that some of the things in my heart, oh my goodness, have really, really changed. And some of those things I really had to pray about. Like, it wasn't no easy thing because we don't just wake up good mothers and good wives. Like, you really have to work at that thing and pray about that thing and ask God to show you the areas that you're not good at those things. And when He starts to show us, we have to be willing to like put in the extra work to grow. So that's been a journey in itself. And I'm just excited to keep growing because, girl, I feel like I'm going to be growing my whole life as a wife and a mama. Even when they get old, I'm still going to be out here growing. So, yeah, this year was definitely an intentional growth spurt spiritually as a wife and a mom. How have I healed this year? Some of the areas, two of the main areas I feel like I've healed in this year are rejection and unforgiveness. When God started dealing with me about things I thought I had forgiven, but were still like lying dormant, it was an eye opener for me, you know. So this year I have really been, doing work on rejection and why I feel rejected and how that looks in my marriage and how that looks in my friendships and relationships and all of those things, man. And so I have been just reading books and praying about it and allowing God to search my heart and show me the areas of my life where, you know, I'm acting certain ways or behaving certain ways because I've been rejected in my past, and asking God to really heal those areas. I'm planning to have someone come on and speak about inner healing because that's a big part of the journey. So, for those of you who have, struggled with rejection, like being abandoned in childhood through divorce or not knowing our parents or friends and all those things, and then just in life, inner healing is so necessary. Forgiveness is so necessary and it's so freeing. So I'm praying that as you go into this new year, you'll evaluate those areas of your heart that need to be healed from rejection and unforgiveness and allow God to really do that work so that you can let all those things go and really grab hold to what He wants to do for you in this new year. So basically, focus is not being distracted. It is putting your attention in a place and really just getting clear on what you want to do in that place. I chose this word because it's so easy for me to want to do 1,000 things, girl, and I will be trying to do them all. But instead of doing that, I wanted to really focus in on a few things and do a few things well, okay? And so I came up with the word focus, and so that's going to keep me from getting off focus and just doing things because I spur of the moment want to do them, unless God is really leading me that way. So focusing on priorities and eliminating distractions so that I can maximize my time. I literally have to delete my Facebook and Instagram and YouTube Studio app. I have to delete them until I can get my stuff done. If not, I will be distracted. I am focusing on certain things at certain periods in the year so that I'm not distracted or discouraged. So when I'm resetting for the new year, I always pick a few things that I want to do before the new year comes. And this year I picked a few things. I wanted to revamp my closet. Y'all, my closet has been crazy. I've been planning to clean out my closet for the past month, and so every time I get something new, I've been making a pile of stuff in my closet. It's horrible, okay? Judge somebody else, okay? Don't judge me. But I needed to go through and reorganize, but I just haven't taken the time to do it. So I wanted to make sure that before I went into the new year that I went through and cleared out my closet. I put up my vision board and just made it a little more easy to to access, got rid of a lot of stuff and just took some time to revamp it. The vision board party went so good. As a matter of fact, it was so good, y'all. We were so caught up in talking and chit-chatting that I forgot to do the giveaways. So if you were one of the people who actually showed up, I know things came up, so I still do your vision board so you can have a vision for 2024. But if you attended the vision board party, I want you to comment down below, I was there. And once I verify that you were there, I'm going to go ahead and give the first 3 people to comment that they were at the vision board. I'll email you to get your information so I can mail out your gift, okay? I have your emails already because you registered, so I'll verify that and get those sent out to the first 3 people to comment below. I was there. I had a good time. And if you want, you can share why you enjoyed it so much to encourage people to maybe try and attend next year, or like, we ain't doing nothing crazy, girl. We just having a good time, okay? So I encouraged everyone to pick a word for 2024 that you wanted to keep in the back of your mind as you went throughout your year. I chose the word focus, defined as the center of interest or activity, a state or quality of having or producing clear visual definition. So I wanted to share a couple of scriptures. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." I chose that scripture because I want my mind to stay on God this year. Like, I want to be going after the things of God and not just trying to make money, trying to please man, trying to get ahead and get promoted and all these other things. I really want my mind to stay on God because like life has changed since I've been really getting serious with God. And so, and the word says it, he'll keep you in perfect peace when your mind is stayed on him. So I'm praying that God would allow me to keep the main thing, which is him. And so my focus this year is really going to be on developing my relationship with God, because when all that's together, everything else kind of flows, right? Or I'm able to deal with the things that don't flow like I would necessarily want them to. The next one is Romans 12:2, and it says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good and pleasing and perfect will." So I chose that one because I don't want my mind to be so focused on doing what the world is doing, but I know that when I am focused on God, I'm going to be able to do whatever it is that he wants me to do. It's when I stop focusing on him that I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses or keep up with her or comparing myself and trying to do all this stuff that ain't in line with his will for my life. So this year, I'm trying to allow God to really, really, really transform my mind, transform my thinking, my behavior, the way I act, the way I show up, all of these things. I'm trying to allow God to transform them so that I'll know what his will is for my life. And I just want to encourage you to do the same. If you are kind of confused on what God's will is for your life, start with the basics of getting to know him. Are you reading your word? Are you praying? Do you have a relationship with him? Do you spend time with him outside of Sunday at church? If you start to do those things, God will start to show you why he created you. But if not, you're not going to conform to his will. You're not going to conform to him. You're going to conform to the world, whatever is getting the most of your time. So, sis, give God a chance for real, okay? Our mind. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. If your mind is not like God's, if your mind is not transformed by his word, we're going to end up being like the world. You can say this is just who you are, but even if it is just who you are, what if God really wants to change that? What if he's not pleased with the way you are? Because I feel like some people are going to say that. You are not too old. You're not too young. God wants to change some things in you that have maybe come along because of the wrong reasons. Maybe you're the way you are because of rejection or abandonment or neglect or whatever the case may be, or hurt or unforgiveness. Maybe you're that way for a reason, and he wants to change that. So he wants to change who you are, but he can't unless you allow the word to tell you how you should be, right? So let's allow the word to change and renew our minds so we know how we should be, and then we can know what his will is for our life. Came across this blog from Jen Reynolds. And one of the quotes she had on her website was from John Maxwell. It says, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine." It's the same thing that I said in my past video. We have to win the day. If you don't win the day, girl, you're not going to win the week. And if you're not winning the week, sis, how you expect to win the month? And if your whole month then went by and you've done nothing towards your goal or the thing that you're trying to accomplish, how do you expect to be successful? So nothing changes unless you change something that you do on a daily basis. One thing that I have changed this year that has just completely transformed my life is prayer. Not the little prayer, "Oh Lord, lay me down and then I'm out." Not that prayer. I'm talking about coming down here in this podcast room that is halfway finished, right? Coming down here and presenting myself to God as a living sacrifice. Lord, I'm here. I don't necessarily know what to pray today, but I'm here, and let's get to work, right? And so being in his presence, that has completely changed my life. And that's something that I desire to do on a daily basis. Never thought that would be something I want to do, but girl, here we are, okay? And it's happening. So I want to encourage you. What is that one thing that you need to change in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve on a daily basis? So instead of trying to do a whole bunch of stuff this year, I've tried to narrow it down to the specific things that I want to focus on this year. I want to focus on my family, spending quality time with them, and just making a lot of memories. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Because this year we're not even like doing a lot of trips and stuff. Like, we have a goal to like really focus and save and invest and things like that. So it's kind of like a grind year. Every now and then we're like, okay, we need a grind year. We ain't taking no trips. We not finna be spending a lot of money. Settle down and focus on building. I'm also gonna only take 3 classes towards my degree this year. Instead of trying to take a whole lot of classes and being overwhelmed and stressed out, I'm only going to take 3 classes because at that rate, I can finish by the time I retire. As of right now, as long as I can accomplish those 3 classes this year, mission accomplished. I wrote them down out of order, but the number one priority above even my family is my personal and spiritual growth. The reason I say that is because when God is a priority and when I'm spending that time with him and allowing him to work some things out, it makes me a better person for my family. It makes me more patient and more loving and more discerning about what's going on with them. The goal is to spend that intimate quality time with God, and then they're going to reap the benefits of that. They'll see that in how I love on them and how I change over the year and all that kind of stuff. So number one priority is my prayer life, fasting when I know I need to, reading my word, studying to show myself approved, right? All of those things, and just doing what I know God wants me to do. So growing personally and spiritually is number one priority. And then that allows me to really be better for my husband and for my children. The last priority, like I said, is to just work on really being intentional about our finances. One of the things I wrote on my vision board was, I want to be a good steward over what God has already given me, so he'll feel comfortable giving me more. Like, the word says that he gives seed to the sower. So if I'm a sower, he's going to continue to give me seed. So I want to practice sowing that, giving, and, doing the right thing with my money and not just blowing it on eating out all the time and buying all kind of stuff that I don't necessarily need. Our family goal is to really be intentional about what we're getting in and what's going out and actually where it's going out. Because sis, these last couple of years, we just been living our best life, but it really ain't been our best life, okay? Because we have not been being good stewards. So that is going to change in 2024 in Jesus' name. Lastly, I want to share with you guys my 2024 goals. I wanted to be a little bit specific with them and so that I could hold myself accountable. First thing I want to do is launch and successfully run a Wednesday women's prayer. Me and my friends have been praying together on certain days, and we are planning to launch the Prayer Warriors prayer call on Wednesday mornings at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. And so there'll be a link down below where you guys can sign up for that, and you'll get the call-in information. But that will only go out to people who register, so we know who's calling in and all of those things. Another goal is to start the Bible study, the women's Bible study, once a month. Have a women's Bible study on Zoom where you guys can register for that. We'll be discussing and learning about things that we deal with as women, like how to get our heart cleaned up, how to get our desires cleaned up, our attitude, how to let go of our past. All those things, girl, are going to go down in the Bible study. Sometimes I'll bring in guests, and then sometimes I'll be teaching, but it's going to be targeted towards things that we specifically go through as women in our journey as we're trying to get more serious with him. As of right now, each season is going to be 25 episodes. So I want to successfully complete every season of the Woman Intentionally podcast. I don't want to stop. I want to go 25 episodes strong, take a break, and then come back with the next season after God shows me what we're going to be targeting and all those things. I also want to reach 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. At first, I was like 25, and then one of my friends was like, I'm believing for 50K, sis. And I was like, girl, I didn't put God in a box over here talking about 25K, so we going for 50K, okay? Shout out to everybody who has just come along in this past month. It's been a crazy month of growth, but God said he was going to do it, and he's went above and beyond my expectations, okay? I said it like 200 and some subscribers for so long. I see I got like 90 videos, but I'm just now hitting like 1,200 subscribers. So the work has been being done, and now God is really starting to allow me to see the fruit of the labor that I've been putting in. So welcome, girl. Join the Jesus tribe. We trying to get it over here. We trying to grow in God and all the things. So hey, girl, hey. I want to elevate my style, okay? I'm real chill. I love just keeping it simple. So I'm going to insert some pictures in here about how I want to dress coming up in this year. I love fall, but also in the summertime as well, and showing young girls and women that we can look beautiful without always going for sexy. We can be classy and sophisticated, and while we shouldn't have a desire to necessarily be sexy in our style and in our dress, but to just be beautiful in the way that God created us and still give cute looks when we want to. Okay, so that's my goal when it comes to style. Also excited to successfully launch my book in April. God, I'm serious this time. It's going to be a hit. I want us to get bestseller on Amazon in the Christian category, and look into all that kind of stuff and get more specific on what I want that goal to be. But I definitely want to launch the book in April and just watch God do his thing. I try my best to fast once a week, just in general. But this year I want to be more intentional about that and maybe bringing you guys along with me. Hey, we do like a little corporate fast 1 day a week, 6 to 6, where we're trying to grow. And then God will deal with you on what he wants you to do in addition to that. The last goal is to grow a healthy community of praying women that love God and desire holiness. That is the final goal that I have of 2024. Besides the family and personal things that me and my family are doing. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys and hopefully motivate you to do a 2024 reset, figure out what you want to accomplish, what that looks like, and really get intentional and strategic about seeing that thing come to pass. I'm excited for 2024, ladies, and we are going to allow him to grow us, heal us, and help us find our purpose. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Make sure you signed up for the newsletter. And make sure you share this with somebody that you think could benefit from a community like this. I know a lot of y'all don't use Facebook, but sis, it's a link down below where you can join my Facebook community. I know that's for the old people, but girl, we got to connect. It's hard to connect and build a community on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're on Facebook, make sure you click the link and join the Facebook group, because in 2024, that's how we're going to keep each other accountable. That's how we're going to stay connected and get the encouragement that we need, build a community of women who love God and desire holiness. So, getting ready to go into a brand new year. I know you're going to be trying to do all the things, sis. While you're attempting to do all the things, while you're going after all that God has for you, do not forget to woman intentionally. Let's go.